Have a good time, I said. They're a bunch of rich, right-wing loonies who have this hunting lodge upstate. Don't bring me any venison, Harry. No dead birds, either. I got up from my desk and walked to the coffee bar. On the wall above the coffee urns were Justice Department wanted posters featuring mostly Muslim gentlemen, including the #1 scumbag, Osama bin Laden. Also included in the nearly 24 posters was a Libyan named Asad Khalil, a.k.a. the Lion. I didn't need to memorize this man's photo. I knew his face as well as my own, though I'd never formally met him. My brief association with Mr. Khalil occurred about 2 years ago when I was stalking him, and as it turned out, he was stalking me. He escaped, and I got away with a grazing wound. And, as the Arabs would probably say, it is destined that we meet again to settle our fates. I look forward to that. I drained the dregs of the coffee into a styrofoam cup and scanned a copy of the New York Times lying on the counter. The headline for today, Friday, October 11th, 2002, read, "Congress authorizes Bush to use force against Iraq, creating a broad mandate." A subheading read, "U.S. has a plan to occupy Iraq," officials report. It appeared that war was a foregone conclusion. And so was the victory. Therefore, it was a good idea to have an occupation plan. I wondered if anyone in Iraq knew about this. I took my coffee back to my desk, turned on my computer, and read through some internal memos. We are now a mostly paperless organization, and I actually miss initialing memos. I had an urge to initial my computer screen with a grease pencil, but I settled for the electronic equivalent. If I ran this organization, all memos would be on an Etch-a-Sketch. I glanced at my watch. It was 4:30 p.m., and my colleagues on the 26th floor at 26 Federal Plaza were dwindling fast. My colleagues, I should explain, are, like me, members of the Anti-Terrorist Task Force, a 4-letter agency, ATTF, in a world of 3-letter agencies. This is the post-9/11 world, so weekends are, in theory, just another 2 workdays for everyone. In reality, the honored tradition of Federal Friday, meaning cutting out early, has not changed much. So the NYPD, who are part of the task force, and who are used to lousy hours anyway, man the fort on weekends and holidays. Harry Muller asked me, "What are you doing this weekend?" This was the start of the Columbus Day 3-day weekend. But as luck would have it, I was scheduled to work on Monday. I replied, I was going to march in the Columbus Day parade, but I'm working Monday. "Yeah? You were gonna march?" "No, but that's what I told Captain Parisi." I added, I told him my mother was Italian and I was going to push her wheelchair in the parade. Harry laughed and asked, "Did he buy that?" "No, but he offered to push her wheelchair." "I thought your parents were in Florida." "They are." "And your mother's Irish." "She is. Now I have to find an Italian mother for Parisi to push up Columbus Avenue." Harry laughed again and went back to his computer. Harry Muller, like most of the NYPD in the Mid-East section of the task force, does stakeouts and surveillance of persons of interest, which, in politically correct speak, means the Muslim community. But I do mostly interviewing and recruiting of informants. A large percentage of my informants are total liars and bullshit artists who want either money or citizenship, or who want to screw someone in their close-knit community. Now and then, I get the real deal, but then I have to share the guy with the FBI. The task force comprises mostly FBI agents and NYPD detectives, plus retired NYPD like me. In addition, we have people assigned from other federal agencies, such as Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, plus state and suburban police, Port Authority police, and so forth, too numerous to name or for me to remember. Also included in our